So hi, good evening everyone. I'm audible and my screen is also visible. If it's all set, you can just give yes response in the chat window. Just writing it everything. Okay. I'm sharing this all whiteboard thing from today onwards, right? Okay. I hope I'm very much audible and whatever history or the dashboard thing will be there. I'll be sharing in this GitHub repo and definitely the blog site that where I posted that question. I don't know how many of you have given the answer, but you need to comment it. So if you can check problem 1 and 2. So some answer is not something like this you have to comment. So you have to follow the method like see this one. Okay. So we have Python 3 challenge in the downs, right? And here you can see how people have posted things. So for example, if you go for Python 3, then here are the questions, these are the problems, and the solution you have to post of your GitHub exact URL, because we have a script that will check your answer automatically, right? So like see, second is pending and likewise. So always write your answer by testing in your GitHub account, then paste here, so you can see how people have posted. Anyway, so you'll be in practice. So I think I'm audible. Okay, great. So today we are going to talk about very interesting topic. Generally people used to use this topic in this own scripting way. Anyway, so what we have discussed is very basic command. I'm just revising it everything. So this is my Fedora machine, and where this is my terminal. As we discussed, everything we are discussing like in command line or in graphical is fine. So this is my terminal, and I'm just using this date command. So very simple one, that one we used, cal also, and whatever we learn, it is written in this history. Okay, so questions and their answer is very much important. Okay, so first of all we are going to talk about file system architecture of Linux based operating system, right? File system architecture, what does that mean? That simply means if I'm a normal user of any operating system, let's say normal or admin user also, so I have root account in my Fedora, and if I want to create something, create either file or folder, doesn't matter, file or folder or any other things, if I want to create this, question is where it will be saved. Okay, this is one thing. So that planning is a part of file system architecture. Or maybe second example, for example, if I'm installing a software, I am installing a software. So when I install a software, what are the locations where my software data will be pasted, okay, or will be saved? So that planning is also coming under file system architecture. Okay, let me take it in another way. For example, when you install any software in Windows, where all this data is going to store. So to understand the file system of architecture of Linux, I'm taking the example of Windows based OS. Let's say I'm taking Windows 10. Okay, so in Windows 10 you have almost everything about your operating system under C drive. Okay, that means anything about your operating system, it will be present under C drive in general, right? Just ignore D drive or any other hard disk that you have. So operating system is generally getting installed under this. It's not a hard coded rule, but it's a by default one. Okay, when I want to understand the architecture of C drive or Windows based OS, architecture means what are files and folder present here. So if you see the most important folder called users, or like Windows, or like system32, and many more like that, system32, these are some folders that is already present in your Windows OS. So what I'm saying is, if you double click your Windows C drive, you will see all these folders. Okay, now every folder has a subfolder. For example, this folder is also having some folder name, let's say folder 1, folder 2, and so on. Similarly, this also. Okay, so what I'm saying is, the way Windows organize these names and folder, that planning is your file system architecture. Okay, now as a Microsoft user, if I install VLC media player of the exe file, right, exe file, when I double click it, if you have seen, when you double click this file, installation means this software having number of files and folder. Once you install this, all these files and folder will be stored. Some of them are storing here or here or here or here, anywhere. So that planning is also a part of file system architecture. That means when we design an operating system for the first time, we have to plan. A double click to install a software by any user will lead to some default locations. Maybe here Windows is storing its driver. Maybe Windows here storing all the users, kind of information. So that is the architecture, okay, about any operating system planning. Okay, if you are understanding this, just say yes in the chat window, because I really need to take it very slow, otherwise it will be very much weird. Okay, so if you all are understanding it, then I can proceed to the next architecture. Okay, you will be also understanding why we need this and why it is very much important. Okay, fine. So I believe maximum people are understanding, and I'm just moving on. Okay, coming back to Linux again. So I'm just going back here, and I'm talking about Linux based OS. Never say Linux as an operating system, Linux based OS. Now specifically I'm taking Fedora. Okay, but in any Linux based OS, the architecture will be same in 99.999999% cases. Okay, so if I wanna compare it with Windows directly, that will be great comparison. So I have Windows 10 here, I have any Linux based OS here. I repeat, don't confuse here. We are using Fedora, but it can be any Linux flavor, right? So like in Windows, everything is installed under C drive. Here everything is installed under slash. It's also a drive or partition, whatever you call it. C, and so you can compare it at the same level. How you can see this in your Fedora OS? So if I go there and I log into my root account, and if I access my file system, this is my file system, and once I go to other location under my computer, see, this is my computer, so this location is slash. Okay, it's very much similar to this. So slash means where your entire operating system got installed. How I can check the same thing from command line? Okay, if I want to see some data, name of file and folder under some location, so from the command line you can always use ls, but you need to give a location. So you are just calling to ls command, please show me the content that is located under slash. Okay, so sorry, I'm just going there and enter. If you can analyze, it has a number of directories, and that is quite very similar to this bin boot dev. You see here bin boot boot and dev. Okay, so that means clicking on the my computer side and my computer of this here under computer keyword is very much similar to doing ls and slash command. So ऐसा मान लो कि ls is a program and you are asking for a location, तो ls command यहाँ पे जाएगी और इसका content दिखा देगी. Simple. Okay, so I hope it will be very understood. Okay, now let's talk about some most important folders. We definitely cannot talk about all as of now. So in Microsoft Windows, we have a very important folder called users. Okay, and what is the use of this user folder? Any kind of user account you are going to create. For example, you are creating a user called Jack. So what Windows will do, it will go to C drive users folder and create another folder with the name of user. If you create another folder, another user like John, right? So as an administrator, what you did, you logged into your Windows and you go to your control panel and then you created two accounts. So Jack, John, and one folder, let's say call it administrator. It can also be there, administrator. Okay, so I think you need to understand or figure it out. Whenever you create user in Microsoft Windows, it is going to choose this users folder under C directory and create the folder of those usernames. Okay, so similarly in the Linux also there will be something like that. So let's say if you go to your Fedora operating system and you create a user account, then under slash we have a folder called home. Okay, under slash we have a folder called home. Under home it will be creating, let's say you created Jack, so it will be creating a folder by the name of Jack. Likewise John, right? So what you can compare it, C drive with slash and user folder with home. Okay, if you have Microsoft Windows right now, you can cross check it. If you want to see the home under slash, so I'm just going back to Fedora and here, see, this is my slash. I have this home folder. Under home I have fire account. That means in general whatever folder name you can give here it is, and something like this. If you go to ls command and ask for slash, it will give you the list of slash. But also you can ask you want home data, so you are connecting to ask command. मतलब ऐसा है कि आप ls command एक इंसान है, इससे बोल रहे हो कि स्लैश के अंदर एक होम फोल्डर है, इसके अंदर का डेटा दिखा दो. Boom, see, and the username जो folder दिखा, this is one of my account that I created. Okay, so I hope the first directory of Linux is very much understood for understanding purpose. It's very much understood. Simply means this kind of thing we are also calling in any operating system like a directory structure. ओके, सो यदि आपको ये समझ में आ गया बिल्कुल अच्छे तरीके से, सो यू कैन respond here in the chat window that yes, there is no confusion. It means आज के बाद ऐसा कुछ कसम खा लो कि होम फोल्डर को आप कभी नहीं भूलने वाले, right? So just respond here in the chat window in a very quick way that you are understanding it very well, the use of home folder in Linux. Okay, now I'm going to tell you some use cases. For example, आपसे लोग हजारों और लाखों लोग पूछेंगे दैट एक इंटरव्यू में क्वेश्चन पूछा गया था मुझसे व्हेन आई वाज इन माय थर्ड ईयर, सॉरी फाइनल ईयर, आई अपीयर्ड इन रेड हैट इंडिया एंड गॉट सिलेक्टेड. उन्होंने मुझसे एक क्वेश्चन पूछा कि आई हैव 100 यूजर्स, आई नीड टू प्लान अ बैकअप फॉर देम. तो क्या आप कुछ तरीका या कोई टूल बता सकते हो क्या, सो दैट वी कैन टेक अ बैकअप ऑफ ऑल 100 यूजर. एंड द वेरी सिंपल आंसर इज इन रेड हैट बेस्ड और ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम आई सेड कि आप पूरा स्लैश होम को उठा के किसी हार्ड डिस्क में कॉपी कर दो, सिंपल. सो अगर आपसे कोई पूछे कि हाउ कैन वी टेक अ बैकअप of all the users present in my Red Hat or any Linux based operating system, so you can take a backup of home folder. मतलब आप इसे copy and paste कर दो हार्ड डिस्क में. बट यहाँ पे एक एक्सेप्शन है, that is except root account. That means if you copy all the data of home folder to some new hard disk, it is not going to take a backup of root account. Okay, hopefully this will be very much understood. Similarly, if you want to take a backup of Windows based user as well, what you have to do is just take this user folder and paste it somewhere in a new hard disk. Okay, इसका एक और मतलब ये भी है, for example, if now you are going to log in with the jack user in Linux, so everything will be stored under home jack. Okay, तो मैं एक और चीज़ इंट्रोड्यूस कर रहा हूँ. बैकअप वाली स्टोरी आई होप समझ में आ गई होगी, राइट? आई एम गोइंग डाउन and what I'm saying is every user in any operating system has its home place. When I say home place, the user has a space where it can create, delete, modify anything. Okay, so in Windows, if someone is gonna ask what is home place of student user, you must say under C drive there is a folder called users. Under users folder there is a folder called student. So this is a home place of student user in Microsoft Windows. Okay, rather than calling it home place, because the place is a folder. Okay, place is a folder. So folder बोलो या directory बोलो, directory, everything is same. So some people also calling it what is home directory of student user in Windows. So you need to give that path. Under C drive there is a user folder. Under user folder we have a student. What if people gonna ask about Linux? You must say under slash we have a home folder. Under home folder we have a student folder. Okay, so if you talk about the entire path, slash home slash student. Okay, I'll be talking more about this slash writing, but अगर आपसे कोई पूछे कि स्टूडेंट यूज़र का होम प्लेस या होम डायरेक्टरी लिनक्स के अंदर क्या है तो वो होगा ये, विंडोज़ में क्या है ये, राइट. And this is really very important. I'm telling you, maximum people who are the beginner of Linux, they got confused with the home directory in multiple operating system. Okay, इससे मैं आपको Windows Linux एक साथ लेके चल रहा हूँ. Okay, so if this point is also very much fine, then you can say yes. और प्लीज़ आपके जो भी क्वेश्चंस हैं, I'll make a list, you know, आपके जो भी क्वेश्चंस हैं, so under this Discord we have a QA session. नहीं है तो बन जाएगा, उसमें आप आके क्वेश्चन पोस्ट कर दो, या फिर वो क्वेश्चन आपको मैं कुछ मेंटोर बता देता हूँ उनको पोस्ट कर दो, और वो लोग एक QA में पोस्ट कर देंगे, मैं वहाँ पे सबके आंसर डाल दूँगा. Because it is really impossible to answer all the questions in the real time. Okay, so इस सेशन का थोड़ा फ्लो एकदम मज़ा नहीं आएगा. आप समझ गए? तो आपको जो मेंटर्स की लिस्ट में दे रहा हूँ, यहाँ से आप उठा लो. हर्ष है, पीयूष है, रिदम है, श्रेया है, रिया है, जो भी है मैं लिस्ट दे दूँगा, और इनको आप क्वेश्चन दे दो, और ये एक QA कोई भी यहाँ पे ग्रुप होगा या बता देंगे, एंड यहाँ पे आप अपने जो क्वेश्चन यूट्यूब पे डाल रहे हो यहाँ डाल देना. Fine. Then once I finish this session, I'll answer all those. Okay, with proper logic. Anyway, wonderful. So this is something that I am, you know, expecting कि आप सब लोग समझ पा रहे होंगे. All right. Going back to this again. Now, when I log into my user by graphical user interface, see, I really want to show you one more thing. For example, in my fedora, if I want to create a new user account, hopefully आपको Windows में पता होगा, you can go to activities and here search for users, right? When you search for users, you will get a users option. You click here. When you click here, you will get this. Okay, as you can see, I have a user called this and this. What if I want to create a new user in Fedora? So I'll go there in add user button. I'll select what kind of user I want to create, standard or administrator. Definitely standard will be fine. I'm giving account like Jack. So this is username, I mean full name can be Jack, okay, but username you can choose anything. Like, so username always a nickname, right, in any of the operating system. Password you can also set, or you can also set when the user will try to log in. So I'm setting this like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, I don't know क्या मैं टाइप कर रहा हूँ, 1 2 3 4 5 6, okay, and 7 8 9. I think थोड़ा कॉम्प्लेक्स देना पड़ेगा. So right, fine, and I'm just adding it. Once I add this user for the first time, right, I'm just closing this. मैं आपको दिखा दूँ इस लॉजिक को. यहाँ पे under home directory Jack folder will be created for sure. So if I go there in my graphical activity first, see what happened. Wow, first it was a fire, then now Jack. Okay, if you go there is nothing, but if you go there is something. Okay, even from this command line also, if I'll check /home Jack, if I check under home Jack, nothing is there. Alright, so definitely graphically हमने account बना लिया. Similarly, if you want to create account from this command line, you can use user add and let's say fine, this is the name of my account, boom, got created, right? You can always check /home folder and fine. Even if you go to this graphical one, you get the fine, right? बहुत आसान है. So it's your choice. You want to create a user from graphical and just hit this user add command. एक और difference बता दूं, if you guys are using Ubuntu based operating system, then it is not going to create home folder if you use user add command. Okay, so for Ubuntu based user, hashtag for Ubuntu like OS, you need to use add user command. Fine, नहीं तो home directory नहीं बनेगी. Add user me. But Fedora support both, so that's why we are using Fedora, right? So if you go there, me, okay, there is nothing in find, there is nothing in Jack, there is nothing in me. Okay, so अभी ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है. Alright, so I hope ये दोनों चीज़ें समझ में आ गई होंगी. Okay, now next thing is, when you create all these users for the first time, now for example you are logging to Jack user by using GUI, मतलब आप इस पे graphically login कर रहे हो. So when you log in to Jack user for the first time, you know what, you get a message kind of thing, please wait. ये आजकल नहीं भी मिलता. We are preparing a desktop environment for you. Desktop environment for you. इसका मतलब क्या होता है? If you right now try to log in with the Jack user, okay, तो क्या होगा? When you log in it, so under Jack user some folders will be created. And what are those folders? Let's say desktop folder, download, music, public. Here also, अगर आपने विंडोज़ में पहली बार यूज़र बनाया है तो जनरली यहाँ पे यूज़र बना के लॉगिन करते ही क्या होगा, डेस्कटॉप फोल्डर, डाउनलोड फोल्डर, these are folders, right? Download folder, music folder, public folder, all these. So इसका मतलब ये हुआ, every single user will have its own desktop download music. John also it's have its own desktop download music. ठीक है, ये बात समझ में आनी चाहिए. इसका मैं डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन दिखाता हूँ. So for example, if I am going to log in with the Jack user, I hope I remember the password. So I'm just closing this. This also may take some time to log out. So I'm just clicking on switch user. Fine. Virtual machine में चल रहा है तो hopefully see. I have now Jack. Once I click on here, I need to pass that information. Okay, I log in for the first time in my Jack user. All right. So once I log in, it will take some time to figure out the desktop setting and everything. It is not getting logged in, maybe some reason. So मैंने पासवर्ड सही नहीं दिया या जो भी होगा. Yes, I got it. Password was not correct. See here, if you go to this files, I got all this. See, who am I? I am Jack, जो यहाँ पे भी दिखा जाएगा. Desktop, document, download, music, videos, template and everything. I'm just closing this and I'm switching back to root. Switch user. So just switching back to root. To log in into root account, you know that we have to go to the not listed option and root right here. Okay, Now if I'll show you कि क्या हुआ है, तो look at the diagram first. Under jack user ये सब कुछ बन गया, right? So just wait for a while. यार क्या है root. Okay, I'm here now. If I go to my file system under others and computers and here home, see if I check with the find, there is nothing like that. Okay, but if I check with the jack user, whoa, what we get: desktop, document, download, music, and everything. So that's what you can check. Even if you go to terminal and search for terminal, and you open it like this, and just making a bigger one, right? So if you go to /home, everything is there. /home fire, nothing is there. Oh sorry, fire is having, but fine is not having. Me is also not having, but jack is having. Fine. So in general, every single user is having their own desktop, download, music, picture and videos. It's not common for anyone. सबका अपना अलग अलग घर होता है. Okay. So if this concept and the practical case both making sense to you, so just say yes. Okay. Asif, no, it will not. It will not create, right? So give your response in the chat window if you're understanding it. I'm really emphasizing everybody to understand this session very importantly, right? Don't take it in a light way. Fine. मतलब ये सब बहुत ही ऐसा है कि छोटे छोटे कॉन्सेप्ट से बहुत बड़ी चीज़ बनेगी, right? I know some of you already having lots of knowledge about Linux, तो आपको थोड़ा सा पेशेंस रखना पड़ेगा, right? So alright, now moving on to the very next concept. तो मैं ऐसा मान के चलता हूँ कि आप लोगों को होम फोल्डर का यूज़ समझ में आ गया, या विंडोज़ में यूज़र्स फोल्डर का यूज़ समझ में आ गया, राइट? Home and user are very much compatible to each other. Okay, now just going up. All right, let's talk about the default security. Default security. What is the meaning of security? For example, if this is again your Windows 10, any Windows OS, right? And we have a C drive and we have a users folder. Under user we have a user 1 and user 2 and administrator, right? 3 users we have. So for example, in a Windows desktop, if you log in with user 1, user 1 will be logging to Windows. It can go to C drive, it can go to users, it can go to user 1, and it can go to many other places, but Windows user 1 cannot open or access user 2 folder, and vice versa for user 2 also. Okay, it cannot open administrator folder, so it can open anything. मतलब ये है, यूज़र 1 कुछ भी खोल सकता है लेकिन यूज़र 2 का फोल्डर नहीं खोल पाएगा. Likewise in Linux as well, if we have a slash has a home, and home has jack user and let's say fine user or fire user. So if you are going to log in this Jack user either from graphical or command line. It can go to slash, to home, to Jack, and inside that anywhere, but it cannot go to any other home directory. ये बिल्कुल ऐसे मान लो कि एक यूज़र किसी दूसरे के घर में नहीं झांक सकता. ये ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम लिनक्स या विंडोज़ की नहीं, ये ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम की सिक्योरिटी है. इट्स नॉट अबाउट लिनक्स और विंडोज़ और मैक, इट्स अ सिक्योरिटी ऑफ ओएस. दिखाऊं जस्ट टू शो यू. हाँ, अगर कोई जा सकता है तो वो है एडमिन और इन लिनक्स रूट. फाइन. सो रूट यूज़र या एडमिन यूज़र, दे आर द गॉड ऑफ द ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम. ये मतलब ये भगवान है, ये कहीं नहीं चले जाएंगे, इनको कोई रोक टोक नहीं. तो ये जो सिक्योरिटी है, दिस इज़ नॉट अप्लाइड इफ़ यू आर भगवान और इफ़ यू आर एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर. ओके, सो जस्ट टू शो यू, आई एम स्विचिंग बैक to Jack user again. Need some time and see. I'm logging back to Jack user. Whew. Okay, all right, I'm here. I'm a Jack user now. How? So I'm just going to browse this file system and just wait for a while. Okay, क्या हो रहा है? शायद एक बार का सेशन टाइम आउट लगा है. I don't know. Okay, no issues. So I'm here now, and if I'm going back to this Jack user, see, this is by default Jack's data. Okay, Jack document, Jack download. But if Jack want to access the slash, need to go there. Okay, and computer, see, if I want to go to anywhere, I can go anywhere without any problem. But if I go to home, cross, I cannot go to any of the user that is not me. See, I'm a Jack, I can go here, yes. If I go back again, I can try to go with the find user. No, you are not allowed. You need administration access, right? And we don't have password of that. I cannot go to find simply. Okay, or you need the password. And similarly, even from command line, see, if I open this terminal, I'm opening terminal under Jack user. Fine. So you can always analyze the same, that who am I? I'm a Jack user, and where is my default location? Home Jack. Can I go to slash? Yes. Can I go to slash home? Very yes. Can I go to myself, my own directory? Yes. But can I dare to go to the fire? Fuck off. See, not allowed. Alright, so this is what the default security is there with every operating system. मतलब confusion ये है कि कुछ लोग सोचते हैं कि कमांड लाइन से हो जाता है, ग्राफिकल से नहीं होता. It's nothing like that. Okay, so कमांड लाइन हो या ग्राफिकल हो, permission is permission, power is power. Okay, ये कुछ सिक्योरिटी है. तो are you understanding this security feature, right? बस फटाफट yes मैसेज दो and we'll proceed to the next. Okay, all right. So wonderful. Now moving on to the next concept, and that is really awesome. It's really awesome, right? So I'm just going back to this whiteboard, going up. Boom. Okay, so we discussed about two directory structures. Okay, अब मैं आपको एक और बात बताता हूँ. Whosoever are doing exceptionally amazing job, we are creating a group of top 50 people in the world, right? And we'll lead them to the next level technology. इसका मैंने आपको बताया है कि आपके असाइनमेंट्स आप कितना रिस्पॉन्ड करते हैं इन सब से रिलेटेड है. सो इन अ वाइल यू विल बी सीइंग सम top 50 or some kind of channel here. So if you want to join that channel, text or voice, whatever will be there, you need to make your effort. So assignment, presence, everything is important. Anyway, so first directory structure is done. Just for your kind information, because these days people are using all operating systems, so I'm just dividing it to Windows, Linux and Mac. Windows, Linux, Mac. In Windows we have users folder. In Linux you have under C drive, here under, right? So in Windows you have a C drive. Under C drive you have a user folder. Under Linux you have a slash. Here you have a home folder. Under Mac also you have a slash, but the name of folder is users. So the way Mac and Linux they have the directory structure, this is same. Okay, but the name is similar to this. Okay, here we have a name of user, this is u1 and u2, and here also we have a u1 and u2, and here also we have a u1 and u2. So you are exploring three operating system in a row. Okay, similarly under u1 we have all desktop, download, music, picture. Here also we have desktop, download, here also same, and here also same. तो home directory का concept तो clear हो गया. I can go to my Mac terminal as well. See, and if I go there, very similar. Who am I? Fire. What is my location? Slash, then users, then fire. Okay, so Mac terminal is also quite similar to Linux. Anyway, talking about the next directory structure, and that is kind of system 32 in Windows. Okay, Microsoft Windows has a directory called system 32. That directory is generally storing the internal command and information. Internal command, right? Internal command. In the next we have bin folder. Here all your commands are getting stored. In Mac also we have bin folder, right? So sometimes it is a bin, sometimes it is something else, but in 99% cases we have a bin folder. Bin stands for binary. It's a system 32 folder, that is a different case, but we have bin. So for example, if I'll go there in my OS, I'm just switching back to root user again. What was the password? All right, so I'm just switching back to root user. So going back to root, right? I'm here. Okay, so if I try to I try to check ls slash, sorry, I try to check ls slash. I have to figure out what is happening here. Fine. If I go to slash, we'll be having a bin folder. So bin, okay. If you see this bin, you have a list of commands, all the commands. That means if I type slash bin, do you have date? Yes, we have. Yes, we have. Slash bin, do you have cal? Yes, we have. So rather than typing this bin, you can always type slash bin date. Okay, just telling you, the bin means all the command you will be storing here. Okay, there are other folder also that will be talking about them later on, but let's first take the attendance before moving on. Okay, so Kahoot will be one of the option to take the attendance of people whosoever want to work with us. Definitely it's a free thing, but after some time there will be a lot of filtering in batches, right? So just join this Kahoot. The questions will be so plus and minus, that's fine. So just log into Kahoot from your device. I'm just giving a minute of chance to join it. Okay guys, so we are starting in a minute. I mean not in minute, in last 10 seconds. Wow, बॉट किसी ने बनाया. चलो स्टार्ट इट. 31 correct answers. Okay, good one. Wonderful. You have to read something by yourself also, right? कुछ कुछ चीजें हैं that you can read it out. I'll be taking these ones sometimes, but not sure when. Okay, 11 correct. Sorry, 25 correct. X11. Mm-hmm. Good one. Maximum correct. Okay. All right. Going next. Wow. 31 correct answer. By the way, virtual machine is something that is created by hypervisor only. Anyway, so broken is on the top. It's very broken. Yes, 14 correct. So, alright, Fedora is not a Debian flavor, guys. I mean, why you are selecting Fedora? We discussed Fedora is a RPM distribution, not DB. Still, alright. Your file transfer means FTP, in case you don't know. Yeah. So, alright. So, what is, by the way, you'll get those answers very soon. Alright. Great. Vishnupal is leading now. Good one. So couple of right answers. I think the final one. Wow. Okay, no worries. A bit advanced question, but all right. So congratulations, guys. Whosoever have scored well or bad, it's all fine. No issues. Timeout is just away, but you got the attendance also, right? And that is important. Okay, so now something we have discussed, that is slash bin and slash home. Now one thing, uh, how you generally change a directory or folder in Linux or in Windows. So we are going to talk about a bit how we are going to change it. So for example, if I'm just login back to root user, what about the home directory? Okay, fun. One final thing. If we are using Linux based OS, then slash, then home. Here all the users will be there, but root account will not be there in home. So under slash there is another folder called root. So in case of Linux based operating system, the data or the home directory of root user can be seen here, like slash root. So if you go to Fedora and you check what is my username and you check pwd, present working directory, you get slash root. But always pwd is not going to help you with the same, so you have to use your cd command followed by tilde sign. If you hit enter, you will get your home directory. Let me tell you, if I am somewhere in other location, okay, I'm here. If I want to come back to my home directory of current user, so my current username is root, I want to come back to my home, I use cd and tilde, enter, I got there. Okay, so you can always use this. So root data will be stored here. So if you see this one other location, computer, we have home, but separately we have root, and root is also having desktop, download, whatever it is, right? So simply I'm just showing you now few more commands for today. For example, if I want to go inside some folder, I am under root user, I want to go to desktop. So what I'm doing is double click. I'm just clicking on that folder, and then I can see the data. So if I want to go to the folder, then I need to first check where I am, and then I need to do ls. ls without any argument will show you the data of the present working directory. pwd means आप कहाँ पे हो अभी, what is your current location, right? So root directory, and if I do ls, it will be showing all the data, and that is quite similar to this. If I'm there, under computer, under root, see 1 2 3 all this, here also 1 2 3 all this. Okay, now if I'm here already, I want to go to a folder, so that's a music, so I need to use cd command. Cd is a replacement of double click in a graphical way. Music with M capital SIC. Okay, you do not have to use slash before it, otherwise it will try to search this folder under slash, but we are not in the slash. Music, if I check it again where I am, slash root music. Okay, if I want to see what is there in this music folder, nothing. I want to go back to the root home directory, I'll use cd tilde. Okay, or rather than using cd tilde, you can just use cd command without any argument. You also will be going back to your home directory. Okay, in case of a normal user as well, so let's say if I'm switching back to jack user. Okay, so let's just wait for a while. I'm switching back to this jack user. I don't know about this first logout. Okay, I'm there in this jack user. Who am I? Jack. My location is slash home jack. If I go somewhere, oh my god, no worries, let's take a look. Okay, if I go somewhere, let's say under slash bin, okay, I'm there, but if I do cd tilde, I'll come back to my home place. Or if I'm going back to slash bin again, if I still done, if I do cd without any argument, it will always come back to my home. So if you want to come back to your home from anywhere, then tilde is the right one, or without any argument as well, using cd command. Okay, so something like this I just want to show you. So again, switching back to user so that we can have this one, and root. I think it will be logging out again. No, okay, fine. So I'm here. No, it is. So there is something happening that is giving me one logout. Okay, I'm there now. Fine. So this one. What you can also prefer, you can go to step by step. cd, you can go to slash first, then you can do ls. You can choose any folder, say home. You can go there, here, and then you can go here. Okay, like this. If you check this one, pwd, yes. But rather than going step by step, you can always write with a slash. I want to go to slash, then I want to go to root, then under root I want to go to desktop with D capital folder. See, I'll be there. Now this slash thing you have to understand. Okay, so let me just take this final step of the today's session. So let's say we are going to talk about something called path. In Windows, if I have C drive and user folder and student folder, okay, and desktop folder under student. So how you represent the path in terms of writing it? So first of all, you have to write C drive, then the C drive name is this one actually, C drive. Then if under a drive there is a folder, you need to put a backslash as a separator, मतलब इसको अलग करने के लिए backslash. Then the users folder, again Inside this there is a student folder. You need to put a backslash again, and then under student we have desktop, and again a backslash and desktop. Okay, but in Linux we have this one. This is not a forward slash, this is a slash, simply similar to this. And we have home. Under home we have student, and under student we have desktop, right? So what will be the similar path to this? It will be starting from slash, that means yes. Under slash we have home, under home we have student. So look at the difference. The first slash is not a separator, first slash is a base, but the second slash here in Linux, after first slash, the second slash is a separator. Separator means इससे इसको अलग करने वाला. So we have a backslash separator in Windows, but in Linux we have, and under this again separator we have a desktop. Okay, so starting from the beginning to the last path, either here or here, we are calling it absolute path. Absolute path. Okay, so absolute path means you are talking from the beginning to the final, beginning to the final. Okay, so if someone is asking what is the absolute path of root user desktop, so slash root and desktop, right? This one. So slash root slash desktop, this is the absolute path. Okay, so this is something that we have to understand today only. Okay, so if this is all set and very much understood for you all, just let me know. All right, so give your response in the chat window. If today's session is very much, I mean, you are getting all the points that I tried to explain. Okay, wonderful. So it's around 6:50. I'm wrapping it up this session for today, right? One more thing, whatever the designing of this board I'm exporting is as a PDF, and this PDF I'm downloading, maybe it's with watermark, you can manage it. Okay, so this download, I'm just getting it under my desktop, and this PDF I'll be uploading on this account. Also, whatever we have done from command line, I'll be uploading all this data as well, all this history in the same location by the date. Okay, so you don't have to worry about this history and everything. You'll find this one here. Okay, how you can find this GitHub link? So this is my GitHub handler, REDASHU. You type this, go to repository, and the repository you will be having a number of, you have to browse this Reboot Brain 2.0 and here. Okay, so ये कहते हुए हम आपसे आज अलविदा लेते हैं. कल का टाइम वैसे तो सेम रहेगा, but if there is a change, I'll be replying in the Discord group. So thank you so much guys. Assignment will be also posted on the blog, so check this. Okay, thank you so much. Bye bye, have fun.